How's morale been in the camp after that marvellous result against Livingston?
I think it's self-explanatory, straightforward. Charlie, I gave most of the group Monday off because we've got hard games coming up, and again the double header against Hamilton and then Dundee, so I thought, right, let's try and peak them. And a few of the boys come in and did a session, boys who'd been injured long term, so they needed some work, and I got them back Tuesday and they were in good spirits, really good spirits. We had a really good session, so looking forward to the game as usual.
Was that, do you think, just another step in work in progress as things seem to be developing now?
I hope so. I mean, you can't guarantee anything in football. You get a defeat and it can demoralise you as well, but I'd like to think that's the benchmark, isn't it? They've set the bar now when it comes to what to do off the ball, what to do on the ball, and if they do it, they get good reward for it. So I'll have to be the exact same against Hamilton. I'm sure they'll try to do the right things, but I've got a good group of boys who are just looking forward to the game now.
How big a factor is the return of players from injury? Are the two going together, return of players from injury and improved performances?
Doesn't take a genius, does it? Where still disappointed with the Morton result. You've still got to analyse results like that and say, would I like to have won that one? So, but it keeps the unbeaten run going, and then you go and win in the cup. So you've got to take the rough with the smooth. It's all the old cliches and sentences you put together, but I think when you look at it, it doesn't take much to put it all together and come up with the answer that getting players back now, we're starting to get better results.
On Saturday we've got basically two sides who are on a bit of an improvement curve, the way it looks.
Aye, no, they've been doing well. I mean, I watched their Hearts game on the Friday night. First half they played a back five and then they changed their shape just into the second half, and it seemed to work for them. I thought Hamilton were absolutely excellent second half against Hearts, so, and that doesn't surprise me with the way John has got his team going and the results have been picking up. So this is a real tough fixture, but one we're looking forward to.
That's grand, thank you very much.
Cheers, Charlie boy.
Obviously, like you outlined there, Hamilton won't be any easy task, but considering, the opportunity these next two games bring, is that very much one you're looking to get maximum points out of, and to the place they are in the league. I would do anything to get the maximum points, but if you start looking too far ahead, you can get bitten in this league, as you know, in terms of you think, oh well, we take some points off there and we've got these two games up that are coming up that are winnable, and if we get these 6 points we could move to there. Too far ahead. We can only go as far as Saturday. If we get beyond that, we'll get ourselves in trouble. We just look to get these 3 points in the bag. It's going to be difficult. It's a tough fixture. We keep on touching it. If you think you're going to just go because, I mean, we're no far off the playoffs now, but we're playing the bottom team. But you can look at it and say, well, they're bottom, you should be beating them. It doesn't work. When are people going to realise in this league that it's not working like that? I mean, Cove went the other week there and beat Partick Thistle as well. So you can't guarantee anything, and that's why we've got to make sure we're focused in this game only. And then if we can take 3 points or win the game, then we'll look forward to Tuesday. Now, you spoke obviously about a number of players returning, like Robbie Dees and such. I mean, I know it's been said in the past, but does it really feel like now it almost feels like you had a big kind of transfer window almost, to the kind of new signing effect?
Yeah, we got obviously a couple in and fresh players, but then you're right, when your bigger players come back, and it's not bigger players, it's like, there have been people who have been regulars, but they're not guaranteed, but they've been regulars. So when you get those regulars back, it is like a new signing, but we're working on getting them fit. You've got to ease them back in at the right times. You can't burst them, you can't throw them in and just play them a full game. And that's what we've been doing with the likes of Cammy Harper, Scott Allardyce, now it's Deasy, hopefully Ozzy Samuel soon as well. Of course it's going to feel like new signings. It's a long time since we've had them, and that is the way we feel. But as Charlie was pointing out there, does it go hand in hand with these boys coming back and better results? Of course. I've been saying that right from the start. Whether people believe me or not, if you're losing your regulars and your boys who have been, like your squad to get the numbers together, and you're losing that, and you've got depleted numbers, never even mind if they're regulars. It's going to affect you, and that's what it did. Now it's picking up.
What's it like managing that when you're coming into a very important part of the season, but you're also trying to make sure you're easing these players into it back as well? Is it a bit of a dilemma?
Well, off the part you're managing expectations that we should be winning every game, but then when it comes to managing your personnel when they're coming back, of course it is, and that's what I've tried to be mindful of with Cammy Harper and Scott Allardyce already, and I'm going to have to do the same with Robbie Dees and Ozzy Samuels as well, and Roddy McGregor and the likes when they come back. I can't just go, right, there's a 90 minutes, go and play, and then you just take off after that and you play every game. It's not like that. You get ups and downs, and you get little setbacks when you try to push them too quickly and too hard. So I've got to gauge where they're at, and that's what I've done with Cammy and Scotty, and they're coming along nicely. We'll be doing the same with the others who come back as well.
That's grand. Thanks for that, Billy.
Congratulations, Billy, on the performance again.
Thanks, jockey boy.
Really good, and your reward. I know it's a while away. Is obviously Kilmarnock at home. Just a quick reaction to that.
What to the actual draw?
Getting Kilmarnock, yeah.
It's one where you're thinking, yeah, it's a Premier League team, but then you get them at home, and because you've beaten a Premier League team, it gives you hope. And Kilmarnock will be thinking, well, they could have get, Rangers or Celtic, but we've got a Championship team away from home. We're looking forward to it. It could have been better, could have been worse. I think that's the way Kilmarnock will look at it as well. But I'm just glad we were in it. That's the main thing. To get a go at it. As I said to you after the Queen's Park game, everybody just thought, oh well, you've got through with default. You'll just stand aside and let Levy win. No chance. And we showed by that performance that we're meaning business. But we have to be like that. I always say to you, we've got our standards right, our habits. Then we're a match for most teams, and we proved that Saturday. But we've got to keep that going.
And we've spoken a lot, obviously, about Billy Mackay, his scoring run at the moment, quality of goals, but also the white players are really doing the business for you as well.
Yes, they are. I mean, Dan Mackay was really effective on Saturday. I thought he passed it easy when he had to pass it easy. I've been speaking to him about it, and then when it's there to go at people, it was there to go at people. Jay is just like so much quality when it comes to, if he faces you up, there's a ball going in the box, and my strikers love that, as you've seen. I think that's us talked about Billy and the wide men. I can't emphasise enough, Chalky, how big a team performance it was for Mark Ridgers with 2 saves throughout the game. One in the first half of the free kick, to the header late on, even though we were up 3-0, to my back 4 who have been leaking goals, and they know that, and giving away silly ones. They were brilliant, tell man. And then my midfield, Welshie hitting the box, getting his first goal, being solid, probably dominating the midfield, and then Nathan Shaw bringing that balance between my strikers and my midfield. I thought, to a man, they were brilliant, and my subs going on just kept it going. So it's more a collective. I know I spoke about Billy, and I had to because of the goals and the way he played, but it wasn't just about the wingers, it was about my full team in Saturday.
Just a final one, just on Hamilton, as Charlie mentioned as well before the Hearts game. I think there was 6 unbeaten. They've got a wee bit of belief about them, which makes them dangerous, and obviously they're working hard for John Rankin, aren't they? So
I would worry about them anyway, Chalky, in terms of just with a record against us as well. It's pretty good. We have to put that to bed. We beat them 4-0 up here towards the end of last season, but we've not had brilliant results against Hamilton, so we've got to do that. And then the way they've been playing, and as I said, they've been getting results before the Hearts game, and I thought the second half they were excellent in the Hearts game. So we know we're in for a tough time. I know they're bottom, but I go back to this league, it's mental. It is mental, really, because if you get I'm not saying we're Rangers or there's a bottom team in the Premier League, but say you do Rangers or Celtic and they're playing one of the bottom ones at Ibrox or something, you can usually predict that it'll probably go one of their ways where they'll go on and win the game. They might sneak it, but they might thump you as well. You can't predict that in this league. You can't say, because I'm not saying we're top because we're seventh, but we're known as one of the better teams in the league. There's nothing guarantees you that, and you just have to look at that Partick Cove result. And there's been results consistently all season where teams turn somebody over and you're thinking, anything can happen here. So this is a toughie. But like getting into the Morton game, I would do anything to get the 3 points. Do anything. Bite your hand off.
Best of luck. Thanks, Billy.
Cheers.
Have you got anyone else on the way back, Billy?
No, we're hoping that we get one more on the bench, but there's still with long-term injuries, there's still wee things you have to get right, and you get minor setbacks, but that's all it is. But that's why I don't want to say, oh, he's definitely back, because the training's important to see how they come through it with the reaction. Yeah. Alistair, so that's what I don't want to tell you certain people are back and they don't come back because they've reacted not in the right manner, but we're close.
No, that's fine, thank you.
Hi Billy, I was Nathan Shaw, particularly in the second half, was outstanding against Livingston, and it was only until I watched the highlights and sports scene that I realised how good he was on Saturday. Is he a player that's going under the radar this season, Nathan Shaw?
No, my radar especially. He was quiet when he first came to the club. Some people take a wee while to settle in. He's a real good player, isn't he? And the one thing I asked him to do Saturday was, right, you have to have the discipline side defensively, because we've got to get this spot on, because they're sitting midfielder. I thought it might have been Sean Kelly, who I had at Ross County, but it ended up being Holt, Jason Holt. So I thought, right, you've got to do the balance of when they've got the ball, make sure you're in and about his area. And it was, I just know the type of guy is. He's so studious, Nathan, where he just took it on board, didn't he? And he was on him all the time. But then when we get the ball, I know he's a good player. And suddenly he got us up the park. He was twisting and turning, keeping us the ball, putting some crosses in. We've got a good day, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's taking him a wee while to get going, but he's a great lad, such a quiet lad, unassuming, and he's coming out of shell a wee bit as well now, which giving a wee bit of part and stick to the boys, which I never saw when he came. So absolutely delighted for him, and it takes others longer than what it takes some, and he's one of the ones where I thought his performance was great. I'm like you, Will. I was the same. I was like all round brilliant.
Right. And one game away from the National Stadium, is it important to put a lid on that?
Aye, I've just spoken to Liam about, I'm not even thinking Tuesday, and you've got me going to Hampden. You dream, I'm not going to kid you on, you think, well, if we could do this and then we could get that, your mind, especially when you sit in and reflect on Saturday night with a couple of wines, but I can't look that far. I'm telling my players not to look that far, and you're kind of throwing that one to me. Yeah, you do think about it, but we've got to look to Saturday. We've got to get back in these playoff spots if we can. We've got to. That's where my focus is just now. I'll worry about the cup ties when it comes along. I know it's the old cliches, but it's true.
Good stuff. That's good, Billy. Cheers.
All right.
A quick one. Thanks for Saturday for giving us a great day out, but you can take the hangover for that I had on Sunday back, because that was atrocious. But it was a surprise to see Robbie Dees on the bench, and obviously touched on it when we were talking to the boys about getting him back. But is that a good thing off the pitch as well in terms of morale for the boys? And also the defence were superb on Saturday. That gives them obviously a wee bit of a pressure to keep their jerseys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it all goes hand in hand, Stevie. That's exactly what happens. I put these on the bench. I was hoping to maybe get him 10 minutes. I was thinking about it, but then I thought, well, do you know what? Another week's training is as important to him as me getting him 10 minutes. So that's him, had another 2 days. This will be 3 days today, 4 days tomorrow, full week's training, going into Saturday, and then we'll see where he is. But it's just conditioning him, making sure he's back. But as for giving the boys a lift, one of your regulars is back from a long term. It's brilliant for the boy himself, because it's a boost for him. It's a boost for the full squad, him being on the bench, and then the others are up in their game because they know they have to bat it, or he'll go and take their place. So keep that going.
And then last I seen Max Ram and Roddy with the squad for Saturday travelling. How are they? And are they close to coming back?
They're the ones where there's little reactions. It's no huge setbacks, but little reactions. So we've got to make sure that they're okay. So a wee bit frustrating, but they're getting there. They're getting there. It's just taking a wee bit more time than we thought.
Definitely. Good luck Saturday.
Cheers, Stevie.